To 5, and the remaining Republican candidates have some important states ahead. Voting in Ted Cruz's home state of Texas, that of course begins today, and then on March 15th, voters will head to the polls in Marco Rubio's home state of Florida, and then John Kasich's home state of Ohio, both of those on that day. So if they secure their home states, all three of them, can they pull ahead? Our political panel here now to weigh in, Democratic strategist Chuck Rocha and Fox News contributor and radio talk show host Tammy Bruce. Thank you both for getting up early with us again.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
It is going to be a long day, so let's batten down the hatches and let's talk about what's going on and who has the momentum going into today. And I'll start with you, Chuck.
Well, welcome to Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, not only the delegate count, but the barbecue and the hamburgers, and every candidate's down here trying to get them some of these delegates. So what you're going to see in this being such a big day is that it's about the math, what you were talking about earlier, and where we're going into these next states throughout the Midwest. But today is all about the delegate count, and Cruz has to do well here. Hillary needs to do well here, and there's lots of other states that are going to determine a lot of our futures as we move forward. But that home state momentum that you talked about is absolutely critical for Cruz.
So, Tammy, what if he does not win Texas? 155 delegates up in Texas alone, and we just heard he's within the margin of error there right now in the latest polls, I believe.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, and you're looking at a proportional state here as well. What the experts are predicting is at about 104 delegates for Ted, and then Donald Trump coming up second with 67. The bottom line is this is about delegates certainly, but it's also about momentum. So I expect Ted Cruz to win Texas, but maybe not by as much as he'd like. Obviously, Donald Trump has the momentum here, but he will not sweep it. You've got states like Texas. Marco Rubio even has a chance to take Minnesota. You've got Ted Cruz also possible for Arkansas and even Oklahoma. And I can tell you that the Club for Growth is putting $1 million of ads into Arkansas and Oklahoma, where Trump could be considered weak. So we're watching those states to see if that works. So you're looking at a little bit of a mix here. When Florida and Ohio come up, both Kasich and Rubio are behind Trump in those states. When you're fighting already for your home state, you're already in trouble. So again, Trump won't sweep. It's a matter of the number of delegates by the end of this. You're looking at proportional states today, but Trump goes in with the momentum and has it in the end.
And then the question is, will Kasich and Rubio stick it out if they don't do well today until March 15th?
Kasich has said if he loses Ohio, he will be out, but I don't even see him sticking with it if it's clear he'll lose it.
All right, so I want to go back to Chuck. We didn't forget about you, Chuck. We want to talk about the Democrats with you. Who has the upper hand? Is this the last stand for Sanders?
Well, last night, Sanders' campaign reported raising $42 million in 1 month. That breaks all records. He doesn't have a super PAC. Money is more than just the mother's milk of politics. It will propel him to keep him going. I look for him to have won a few states today. There's some places where he's even in Colorado, also in Minnesota, his home state of Vermont. So I think that even if Hillary wins a majority of the states today, he has enough momentum, enough money raised, and that grassroots support to probably take him all the way to the convention.
Yeah, $42 million in a month, and I think I heard this morning it's something like $5 million in a day, something like that. I mean, it's crazy the amount of money that he's raising.
We've never seen, and I've been doing politics for 24 years, we've never seen this kind of grassroots fundraising momentum before. It's going to change the way that we do politics.
But, you know, it's heartbreaking, though, too, because on the Republican side, Trump has a chance at winning, of course. On the Democrat side, Chuck, you know, the superdelegates, it's like the thing in Hillary's pocket. He has this momentum and the support of the public and that money, but he can't buy his way through those superdelegates. It really is difficult
and that's
to watch.
Really something that I don't think the average voter understands, and they're constantly asking, you know, how does this work with superdelegates and all of that, and we're going to get into that and explain it some more. But we want to talk a little bit of fun here. Trump, possibilities for his vice presidential pick, including Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and then, of course, Ben Carson leading the field. Chuck?
Well, first of all, I didn't know Ben Carson was still in the race, and I think that the Cuban thing and the Dallas Mavericks is a good thing for a Texas boy like me, but the smart choice for everybody is what we were talking about with home states. With Rubio in Florida, Kasich in Ohio, you're going to see this field whittle down to just a couple of folks, and I think it's interesting to talk about it.
Tammy?
Already, Trump has said he needs an insider. You have some high-profile insiders now. Senator Sessions, Newt Gingrich has been very complimentary. Scott Brown, ex-Senator Scott Brown is also on his team. Look for an insider, somebody who who understands how to negotiate with Congress. Trump understands he needs that, and that's what he's going to look for.
And maybe Cruz in the Supreme Court, you mentioned.
Yeah, that would be an interesting choice and a good one.
All right, we're going to check back with both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you a little bit later. Don't go far.